Hello everyone, this is Don back with the next progress report on my work Corsair. I got two things I want to address before I go into the details on my plane. The first was yesterday I had mentioned on Sunday's video that I had to go to Meadville Airport to meet up with a FAA inspector. He works out of the FSDO branch in Pittsburgh. He needed to update some of my aircraft limitations paperwork. So I run down yesterday morning, met up with him around 9 o'clock. 20 minutes later we were down and I was out of there. So I got, basically the biggest thing was VFR night flying. They updated the language in mine to where if the aircraft is equipped with proper lighting by FAR such and such, then I can VFR night fly. So not that I ever really want a night fly, it's more of a have in case I come home late from flying or something and it starts to get dark. I want to be able to be seen and not be in trouble. So that went without a hitch, no troubles there. Nice guy. He was there when Dave Milo certified my aircraft last June, a year ago in June. Yeah, and he brought him along because Dave was retiring, I think around November, and then this guy's name is Randy. He replaced Dave Milo. So this is the second time I've met him. Nice guy. All right. The second thing is I'd mentioned in my last video of another War Corsair by Joe Lyon. I actually said Joe Lyons with an S on the end, but it's just Lyon, Lyon, Joe Lyon. He has a YouTube channel, and I want to thank everybody for dropping into his channel and checking out what he's got. When I went in last night and posted Sunday and posted the link for his channel, he had like 17 subscribers, and as of today, I think my last check, he was up to over 150 or so. So I want to say thanks to everybody for subscribing to him and reaching out. So alright, so now last you've seen of me, I was still fiddling around with this, so and then I was patching up the wing, so we'll start right there. Yesterday I took and laid this fiberglass here. You can kind of see the edge here where I had took a razor blade to it today and cut it off, and then on the front edge, because I wrapped it around, like you see, this is the top layer on the bottom. The bottom was wrapped around the top, so I had to do the same thing on that side, and then sand it out. So that was yesterday, and that was using the medium speed hardener. And then today I came out, and like I said, I trimmed off the excess, and it curled around the top real nice here, better than it did when I made the airplane. Same material, it's a unidirectional 6-ounce cloth, and there's two layers. You got one layer here, and there's a second layer under, but the first layer is, this is the original fiberglass here, this yellowish color. So the first layer is clear back in here, and then the second layer expands over past it. So now this is the slow hardener, so this might take, it's not dry, I mean you can touch it, it's feeling pretty good, but it's still pretty tender and sensitive. So I'm not going to be able to get onto that probably for a couple days, but I'm not looking to probably get back onto this until next weekend, this coming weekend that is. But it went down good. And this one here, when I trimmed it off, as I tried to trim it, it was peeling up, and it likes to follow the grain of this unidirectional cloth, you know, where you see these here. It likes, when you put a razor blade in here, it just wants to follow that. So it started cutting funny, and I had to, but this is what it did here, and that's what I did, the filler, before I did all this. So that'll be set, and then this here, I'll try and trim it off with a razor after it's cured, and then what isn't cured doesn't matter, it's all going to get sanded and blended in to this. So I've got it on farther than it needs to be on the top, and the bottom is pretty much where I wanted it, because it only needed to be overlap a 1/2 inch on the first layer and another 1/2 inch on the second layer. So I've got two good layers on the bottom. That turned out extremely nice. I'm really pleased with that. So that's where I'm at with that. So it's going to be, because that's a slow hardener, it's going to take a little longer. So today, yesterday I also took some heavy slurry and slurred all these up to fill in all these low spots, as you can see here. All them really white spots now, they're all filled in. There might still be a couple tiny little spots, but this stuff's sanded up so smooth, it's incredibly smooth. So it's about good as I'm going to get her for now. So then after I finished sanding on that, I was using a little orbital hand palm sander, electric palm sander, a little Black & Decker jobby here. So that worked well for doing those flaps. So for the last couple hours, I've been hand sanding this myself with just 220 grit paper. This is adhesive back, so you just take a sheet, fold it in half, and get to work. And as you're sanding on it, as you can see here, this is still shiny. That's where it needs to be sanded. I got the whole bowl area here of the cowl is completely sanded out and done. And then the rest of this still needs, about from here down, still needs to be sanded out by hand. So the nice thing is looking at it from the side while I'm sanding on it, the outside light reflecting on it, as I sand it, you get the satin finish look, and then you can still see all the tiny little spots where you're missing, so you just keep going until them things are gone. And this thing is extremely smooth. It is like glass now where I've sanded it. Now right there, some, if you can just make it out, still needs, but like I said, I just sanded all this out. So the lighting was starting to get bad where I couldn't see it, but this isn't done yet. This needs to be sanded all the way down to here. So that's what I've been doing today. I've probably got at least 4 hours of sanding in today, including that and this, just on this. A little bit of sanding, like I said, on that, just to clean up the edge so I could lay the top on it, because again, the bottom's coming up under here, and then the top is overlapping it, so it's overlapped. It's like 4 layers thick right here on the leading edges, but it's only about 1 inch wide at most. So I had to sand off that bottom edge, cut it, sand it, and you can't even hardly tell where it is. This is a glue seam in there, but it's doing well, doing real well. And then after that's done and trimmed, then that'll get a slurry just like this, a heavier slurry to fill in it. It'll be, first I'll sand it, try to DA sand it in with this little palm sander, which I need to go get some paper for. It's Velcro back paper, so I need to find something in that 220 grit to, that might be just a little heavier grit, just to knock it down and blend it in before I put that stuff in. And so it'll be next weekend. This coming weekend. Today's Tuesday. I can start work driving tomorrow. So I won't be back out onto this until Saturday again. And I'll get back to sanding on that, finish that up, and then once that's done, I need to get this piece glued back in and filled in, and then seal it up, you know, with some filler, and then that'll be ready for primer. What I'm going to do here is drill out all these rivets. These are holding the hinges, and that's how you take it apart. You pull the hinge pin out from the back end, pull the pin out, and the cowl will separate. So right now it's not cut yet here, but I'm going to drill all these out so I can finish sanding under them. I'll cut it, and then I can paint them individually with primer, and then I'll re-pop rivet these back together, put these back in, and then I'll paint over the rivets so there'll be color match. So these are rivets from my that I bought for my CGS Hawk Arrow 2 I had. The nice thing with these rivets is, if you see, they're not open like a normal hardware top rivet. The ends, these things are sealed. They're solid on the end, so water can't go down through them. So water can't get into these and drip inside. They're solid bottoms. So I think that's about it. I've got plenty of epoxy left, microbloons and cotton flocks, and I see Joe's mentioned my name a couple times in his video, and he got to play with some of that cotton flocks, and it's really nice. Like I say, the cotton flocks is for areas where you really want to beef up, make things stronger, and the microbloons is more of a filler, lightweight filler for filling in stuff like this. So looks like he's got his work cut out for him. He's want to put his retract mechanisms back in, because the original owner was trying to make it an LSA, and you had to have fixed landing gear. But now with the new Mosaic rules, it can be retractable gear, and the weight limit's gone. You're just stuck with that stall speeds of 64, 67 knots, which is a tad bit under 70 mile an hour, where this thing was stalling somewhere right around that 70, but the gear was down. It wasn't in a clean configuration, so that number may change, but it's so close that when I was checking it for stall, that was just so I could get a good idea of what to keep the speed above on my first landing. You know, on my first flight around the pattern, I did the stalls because I have no idea what it was going to stall at, and so that was just a quick down and dirty, and I didn't pay attention to how accurate it was. Just right around 70, give or take. So we'll see what it does once I get her back out and done. And I think that's about it. I haven't done anything else with the engine or anything. Haven't done anything to it. After the cowling's all done, then I'll attach these and cut these out. And hopefully this area here will be enough. I may cut them out a little more, keep enough bulk material in here so these don't want to snap off. I'm not going to cut them this narrow. That's just where the cowling is right now. So I may just bring them in, and because that's going to be a lot of open area for air to come out now, and then the bottom also. So see, just looks like one little drip of oil there, and this thing hasn't been running a couple weeks. But it is still a drip coming off of that hose. I'll have to dig into it and see where it's coming from. But once the cowling's done, I'll have to pull the exhaust off. But first I'll get a reference point, like from the center of this bolt cowl mount to the center of the pipe. And then I'll measure the width of the pipes, and I'll do the same on both sides. Pull this out of the way, put it up in there, and then measure and see how everything's going to fit. But I can't put the cowling on with the muffler in, but I can try to, and then this can be, this is, oh dear, it's tight. It's kind of locked up from heating expanding, but got to locate those, put the cowling in, and lop them off. I'll cut them off after the cowling's on, and I'll just put them out just enough with a little knife edge to kind of help deflect the, it'd be nice if you keep these, but you have to cut them off up here and stuff them up in, but I'm just going to lop the damn things off. Alright, I guess that's going to do her. I'm going to keep this one short. It's been an absolutely beautiful week so far. I mean, every day's been like this. Today it's a little windier, a little cooler, but it's still, you know, like low 70. That's why that epoxy is going to take a little longer. It's not, if you're working below 70 degrees, they'd rather you use the medium speed hardener and not the slow. But it'll cure, it'll just take a little longer. And they're calling for this for the rest of the week. Temperature still mid 70s, low 70s, just up and down. I think one day it's supposed to maybe be upper 60s, but they're just calling for blue skies and sun. So, absolutely gorgeous. A little breezy today, so. Alright everyone, that's going to do it for this update. As always, feel free to leave any comments, questions, or concerns. Feel free to leave them. And thanks for everybody for watching these videos and sticking and hanging in there. And again, thanks for everybody checking out Joe's channel. And for anybody that's watching this and don't know, I'll leave another link in the not in the description, but I'll pin a comment in the comment section to remind people of the Joe's channel, so you can go check out his. So it'll be a nice looking airplane when he gets her done. So alright everyone, that's going to do her. I am going to go walk the dog and then tell the wife to get dinner started, and I'll get this thing loaded up tonight so you guys get something to see, and I will probably see you again next weekend, Sunday. Okay everybody, for now, this is Dino Don out.